Your size further opened slowly. At first, everything was blurry. White rice, a faint smell of medicine, the soft beep of machines, a blink a few times, your head throbbing, until reality crashed back into your mind like a storm. Hospital. Your heart skipped violently. Why, Jinhee? Your voice came out weak, broken. Hearing your voice, a nurse rushed in from outside. Nurse, ma'am, don't panic. Sir stepped out for a moment. He will be back right away. Before you could say anything, the door opened. Jungkookff walked in. Jinhee was in his arms, safe unharmed, clutching several shopping bags, toys peeking out from them. The moment Jinhee saw Eva walk, her face lit up. Jinhee, Yoma, she jumped down and ran straight into your arms. You hug her tightly as if she might disappear again if you loosen your grip. Your eyes burned with tears. Why did you go? You whispered, your voice shaking. Do you know how scared I was? Jinhee looked up innocently. Jinhee, sobbing. You pulled back slightly confused. When shopping for what? Jinhee, for the new member, she said bravely. You froze, slowly looked at Jungkookff. He stood there silently, his ears and cheeks completely red, unable to meet your eyes. Jinhee, excited, opened the bags one by one. Tiny clothes, baby shoes, soft toys, even a small blanket. Some items were carried for a baby boy. Jinhee showed them off happily, completely unaware of the emotional earthquake she had just caused. At first, you didn't understand, then it hit you. Your hand instinctively moved to your stomach. The doctor entered the room, breaking the silence. Doctor, you can take the patient home now. But please, no stress at all. Her body is very weak at the moment. We have provided a detailed food list with protein and fiber. Follow it strictly. Jungkookff, thank you, doctor, he replied respectfully. After the doctor left, Hana rushed in, smiling brightly. Hana, congratulations, he said teasingly. If Jinhee hadn't told me, I would not have known at all. Boss, from now on, no more heavy work, only rest. Jinhee crossed her arms seriously. Jinhee, and Auntie Yoma won't go to the office anymore. She will stay at home. Hana laughed softly. Hana, don't worry, I will handle everything. She doesn't need to work at all. While Hana and Jinhee talked, Jungkookff moved closer to you, lowering his voice. Jungkookff, they took Jinhee to jail. The police arrested her. Your breath coughed. Wine, Mr. D, he wanted to take Jinhee. Jungkookff, he paid Jinhee to buy Jinhee from her. That's why both of them are going to prison. You felt real peace settle in your chest. The weight had been crushing you slowly lifted. Jungkookff looked at you carefully. Jungkookff, how do you feel now? Wine, much better. You replied honestly. He hesitated for a moment, then asked softly, Jungkookff, are you happy? You looked at him. At the moment who had stood beside you through fear, loss, and chaos, your lips curved into a gentle smile. Wine, yeah, I'm surprised. 6 months later, Wine, Jungkookff, I told you, do it properly. You stood in the living room with your arms crossed, staring at the book on the tea table like it had personally offended you. Jungkookff, I did do it properly, he replied, trying very hard to keep his voice calm. Jinhee peeked over the couch, spoon in hand. Jinhee, but this looks fine to me. You shook your head immediately. Why, no, not at all. I don't like it. But this is completely wrong. Jungkookff blinked. But this is how it's supposed to taste. You frowned deeper. Your lips trembling slightly. Why, no, I want it spicy. There was a brief, stunned silence. Jinhee slowly looked at you. Jinhee, Yoma, pudding isn't spicy. You turned to her sharply. One, but I want it spicy. Jungkook sighed, rubbing his forehead. Jungkook, Sweetheart, spicy food isn't good for you, and it's definitely not good for the baby. Yours as word up instead, Juman. I don't care. I want it spicy. I will eat it spicy. Jungkook and Jinhye exchanged a look. That look said everything. Your mood swings had been intense lately. The smallest things could make you angry, upset, or emotional, and when something didn't go the way you wanted, even Jinhye had learned how to step in and calm you down. Jungkook took a deep breath. Jungkook, okay, he said softly. I will make it again. You turned away with a huff, still grumbling under your breath. Jungkook went back into the kitchen. Jinhye followed him, standing on a small stool beside the counter. Jinhye Appa, she whispered seriously. You have to make it really good, or your mom will get angry again. Jungkook chuckled quietly. Jungkook, I know, let's do this together. They worked side by side. Jungkook carefully preparing the pudding. Jinhye helping decorate it. She arranged fruits neatly, added tiny chocolate pieces, and even insisted on placing a mint leaf on top so it looks fancy. Finally, they carried it to you like it was something special. You took one spoonful, then another. Your expression slowly changed. Fine. Okay, you admitted this one's better. Jungkook let out a breath. Jungkook told you. Jinhye smiled proudly. Jinhye, see, Papa is good. After eating, your mood softened. Jinhye kissed your cheek and went to her room to sleep, happy and satisfied. The house grew quiet. Jungkook lay down beside you, gently placed his hand on your belly, slowly massaging in small circles. You sighed softly, your body relaxing under his touch. That feels nice. Jungkook smiled. You have been tense all day. You turned your head slightly, looking at him through half-knitted eyes. Wine, I get tired so easily now. He brushed a strand of hair away from her face. Jungkook then raised him right here. Wine, the baby has been quiet today, you murmured. Jungkook's hand moved instinctively. Jungkook may be listening to us. You chuckled softly, Wine, then talk. Leaning closer to your baby. Jungkook, hey little one, your Emma is trouble, just like her, so be patient with us, okay? You laughed and sighed, your eyes growing heavy. Wine, I'm lucky, you said drowsily, I have you. He kissed your forehead gently. Jungkook, no, I am the lucky one. Your breathing slowed, your hand loosened its grip on his shirt. Wine, Jungkook. Jungkook, yes, Wine, don't move. Jungkook, I won't. You fell asleep mid-sentence. Jungkook stayed still, his hand resting protectively on your belly. The other wrapped around your shoulder. He pulled the blanket hair, turned out the lamp, and lay there in the quiet darkness. Months later, the living room looked like a battlefield of ribbons, balloons, fairy lights, and half-open decoration boxes. Jinhye stood in the middle, hands on her waist, supervising like a strict little general. Jinhye, I told you, she said seriously, pointing at the wall. It's not supposed to look like that. Taeyang tilted his head, examining his work. Taeyang, but it looks good like this. Jinhye frowned. No, it doesn't. She turned dramatically. J-Hope uncle, you do it. You can do anything properly. Ibrahim burst out laughing. Taeyang placed a hand on his chest. Taeyang, oh, betrayal from my own niece. The house slowly transformed into exactly what Jinhye wanted. Soft colors, baby decorations, balloon tied perfectly. When the final ribbon was placed, Jinhye's eyes lit up. At the exact moment Jinhye, they're here, she announced excitedly, almost jumping. Jungkook had gone to bring you and the baby home. While waiting, Jin ran into the kitchen. The smell hit her first. She stopped short. Jin and Namjoon stood there, both clearly roasting a batter with onions. Jin's eyes were red. Jin, seriously? It's just onions. Why are they so dramatic? Namjoon was full on crying. Namjoon, I can't do this. I really can't. Jin said, move, I will cut them. Jin crossed her arms. Jin, you guys are so weak. Jin gasped, excuse me? Namjoon sniffed. We are almost done. Just so brave. Jin nodded. Where is the food? Namjoon wiped his eyes. Namjoon, Jimin is setting the table. Everyone was busy. Every corner of the house was alive. Then the bell rang. Taeyang rushed to the door and opened it wide. Jungkook stood there, holding the baby carefully in his arms. He stood beside him, tired but growing. Taeyang, I'm taking him first. Jinhye immediately stepped forward, serious again. Jinhye, no, hand sanitizer first. The entire room exploded with laughter. Once sanitized, Jinhye proudly led everyone inside. Jungkook gently moved toward the bedroom. Jimin, I will hold him, he said softly, already reaching out. Jungkook hesitated for a half second before placing the baby in Jimin's arm. Jimin's face melted instantly. Jimin, oh, he looks exactly like Jungkook. Jin leaned closer. Jin, look at his eyes, exactly the same. Don't smile, he is beautiful. He was from the doorway, hurtful. Namjoon, man, goldfish enough, he said gently. We have done everything. You shook your head. Why? You don't have to do all this. Taeyang laughed. After the way Jinhye worked us since morning, no one here will do any work for at least a month. Jinhye hugged. No, Yamma, these uncles can't do anything properly. Taeyang raised her eyebrow. Taeyang, oh really? As if you can do everything? Jinhye crossed her arms proudly. Jinhye, I'm the manager. I don't do things. I make people do things. You step in quickly, smiling. Man, okay, no fighting today. Suga suddenly stretched. Suga, give him to me. You guys have been holding him since morning. Jehope squinted. Jehope, you just woke up and now you're acting like you have been waiting all day. Suga shrugged. So what? Jungkook finally spoke, calm but firm. Jungkook, enough. He's small. Don't shout. Jungkook placed the baby gently into Jinhye's arms. Jinhye stared down, eyes wide. Jinhye, he's yawning. She whispered, oh, he smiles softly. One looks like he's getting sleepy. Jin suddenly sniffed the air. Jin, how's that smell? Suga being, or maybe he pooped. Jinhye's face crunched up instantly. Jinhye, no, Yama, take him. Everyone burst out laughing. You walked forward, laughing as you carefully took your son into your arms. The house was noisy, messy, loud, and perfect. The house was finally quiet. Jinhye had fallen asleep, curled up on one side of the bed, her small hand resting protectively near her baby brother. Jay was sleeping peacefully too, tiny cheeks rising and falling in rhythm. Wrapped in small blankets, only the dim beside lamp was on. You stood there for a moment just watching them. When they were finally asleep, you whispered, Jungkook nodded, moved closer. Jungkook, both of them looked so peaceful. You slowly lay down beside Jinhye, careful not to wake her. Jungkook turned off the main light, leaving only the warm glow beside the bed, then joined you quietly. For a few seconds, neither of you spoke. Your son rested on your stomach unconsciously. Jungkook noticed. He gently placed his palm over yours. Jungkook tried. He asked softly. You smiled faintly. Wine. Pity, but it's a good kind of tired. Jungkook turned to face you, eyes full of emotion. He didn't need Words for Jungkook. 6 months ago, we were scared, confused, hurt. It was sun rushing over your fingers, Jungkook, and now, look at us. Your eyes shimmered, mine. Sometimes I still can't believe this is real. Jungkook, lean closer, Jungkook. It is, and I won't let anything take this arm from us. You look at him, the man who stood by your when everything fell apart. Yeah, you protected us, you whispered. You didn't have to, but you did. Then he smiled softly, Jungkook. You were my family, all three of you. He carefully tucked a rose strand of hair behind your ear. And you, he added quietly, you're stronger than you think. He wrapped an arm around you, careful and protective, his other hand resting near Jay's tiny fingers outside the night went silent.